Now, to a heartbreaking story out of Lismore today. Following the disastrous floods, the state government promised 11 temporary housing sites. 4 of them are still under construction. This means some people in this community are still sleeping in their cars. Others are lucky to have friends or family who can accommodate them. It's sadly been a grim Christmas for many. Joining me now is Lismore Mayor Steve Krieg. Steve, thank you so much for joining me. How many people in Lismore are still doing it tough all these months later? And I can't believe we've got people sleeping in their cars 10 months after the floods.
Yeah, g'day, Rita, and thanks for having me. The statistics are pretty liquid, as you can imagine, with people living with friends and family. But at last count that I heard about 2 weeks ago, there was about 750 of our Lismore residents still on a waiting list for some form of temporary accommodation. So, 10 and a half odd months on, still a lot of people looking for somewhere a little bit more permanent to live.
Well, what can the New South Wales government do better? Because it seems like this is a failing on a grand scale. What would you like to see happen?
Obviously, as a council, we've met with Resilience a few times, only a few short weeks ago, actually, and put forward there's anywhere between 80 and 90 rental properties on the market in Lismore in our 2480 postcode, which are available right now, which is a short-term option, obviously. We've offered different sites for these pod villages that they want to build, which haven't been explored to the best of my knowledge either, Rita. So there's a few things that the now disbanded Resilience, I think it's called Recovery New South Wales, can get on with. But, it was always going to be the most difficult solution in housing over 4,000 flood victims and looking for a more permanent place for them. But, we need to do better in a first world country. 10 and a half months on from what was, one of Australia's biggest natural disasters.
And hundreds of millions of dollars have been devoted to doing that. So, yeah, you are right. We should be doing better. Just lastly, is there anything our viewers at home could do to help here?
Obviously we're back open for business in the Northern Rivers and in Lismore specifically. So anyone that's out and about on the road over the Christmas New Year break going to Byron, we're only 40 minutes inland from Byron. We're surrounded by World Heritage listed rainforests. Call in, say good day to some of the locals, spend a bit of cash. We've done it probably tougher than most, even though I know that a lot of the East Coast has been hit with flooding and other natural disasters. Lismore has done it pretty tough this year, and I know our retailers would appreciate any support that visitors could give.
Good advice there. Thank you, Mayor Steve Krieg. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.